everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I have some amazing news for you today and I would like to make sure that all the technical aspects are all right before I would start. So you can watch today's video from the Beadingschool Facebook page and also from the Beadingschool Club. And I'm still waiting for... Okay, Sarah says, "Hello, lovely ladies, and Erika here and see you crystal clear." Then I'm super happy. Thank you, Sarah. And hi, Katie and Marianne and Gunel and Antoinette, Sarah, Tanya, Katja, Facebook user friend, I don't see your name. Ginny is here, Honey, Kata is here, Mette, Ellison, Marta, Lutka, Faye is here, Joanne, Cindy, or Mary Beth, Cynthia, Mary Beth, who designed the Mary Star motif for last Fridays. No one has to be alone. An amazing little design. And Sherry is here, Daniela. If you did not hear me saying your name, then it means that I can't see you. I see you as Facebook user. So if you would like me to greet you personally, I like to be personal in the community, then you can click on the link above the video and enable my broadcasting program to see your name and see your face. Also, hi Corinne, I see you. So today I have a lot to tell you. Some amazing news that will make even more of your beading wishes come true. On Sunday, I showed you a picture with a clue and I was curious if you can find out what's happening. This was the picture, by the way. And I will tell you more about it, that what is in fact happening at Beading School a little bit later during the second half of our coffee date today. But first, let's talk about the new Beading School Academy box and the first signature jewel that you can create from the beads and components in your box. So if you aren't, by the way, a Beading School Academy student yet, then I highly recommend you to navigate to beadingschoolacademy.com and reserve your spot now. Places fill up very quickly, and this is your chance to become a member and still receive your Art Deco inspired box instead of waiting for the next one in May. In the meanwhile, also, Sangeeta joined us. Cynthia says she got her boxes yesterday already. Nancy is here, and Wendy, and Ariane, and Aniko, and Claire is here. Nancy also got her next box yesterday, just in time for the new jewel. So the inspiration behind this new Beading School Academy theme box is Art Deco. And Art Deco, let me show you some pictures, is a style of visual arts that was characteristic in the 20s and the 30s of the previous century. It was a celebration of achievements of the human mind and new technologies. That's why modern materials such as steels and plastic actually were popular. Art Deco combined modern styles with fine craftsmanship and rich materials and represented faith in social and technological progress. Here are some more pictures for you to get a taste of Art Deco. This one, by the way, I think it looks so much like the jewel that is on top of your box. It's actually a coincidence. I beaded the jewel prior before seeing this picture, and then I was all like, oh my god, this is amazing. And if you would like to read more about Art Deco, then in the virtual classroom of the Beadingschool Academy, there is an Art Deco article telling you more about the style, including tips on how to differentiate between Art Deco and Art Nouveau, for example. And soon, or Get Into the Mood article is coming to help you build up an Art Deco atmosphere in your home and on your bead mat, of course. And just after Coffee Time with Erika, I will publish the tutorial for the first signature jewel that you can create from the Art Deco box. This one. And it features beautiful emerald green glass cabochons and wax solo beads and pearls with a slight ivory and rainbow shine. In the meanwhile, I also see Christine joining us. Sarah says, my box is in Sweden, hope I get it tomorrow, but want to bead the new motif now. And Connie received her box today. Jan also received her box yesterday. Joyce also. Just on time. Patty is here. Wendy is in hospital. I'm sorry to hear, Wendy. I hope you will get better soon. And Nicolene is here too. So, after Coffee Time, not only will I publish the tutorial itself, but also lots of different colors of the pear-shaped cabochons that you need for making the pendant. The 2-hole vexillol beads in the shape of an elongated triangle were already available in the Beadingschool bead shop before the Art Deco box, actually. Since Susie, when she and Andrea were visiting the Crystal Valley last year in the Czech Republic, where many of our beloved beads are made, then Susie selected them when visiting the Crystal Valley on behalf of Beadingschool, and we just managed to restock nearly all of the colors today. And this is a picture, well, a compilation of pictures that Susie took when they were visiting with Andrea the Crystal Valley in the Czech Republic. And if you would like to read about their adventures, then I am posting now a link to a blog article that Susie wrote with more pictures and about their experiences. And the ladies, by the way, Susie and Andrea, will embark on a new exciting journey in a couple of days. And not only will you be able to follow them through our Facebook page, Susie promised us that she will post some pictures and write something for us, but they will also be your hosts together with a special guest during the next Beadingschool Academy lunch break. So make sure to join the Beadingschool Academy lunch break on Saturday, because it will be super nice. And back to the jewel. Back to the pendant. So we often use glass, crystal, or other cabochons in our jewels. There is actually even a Preciosa Nacre cabochon in the middle of this one. And we usually bezel them with the popular peyote stitch, or lately we use more and more the square stitch bezel that you can see in the middle of the pendant with the precious nacre cabochon. And we started to use this kind of bezeling during the Starry Night theme. But this time, something else is coming. This time, the emerald green pear-shaped cabochons will be set into metal settings with prongs that we close on top of the cabochons. So the cloves, they have prongs to catch the caps securely. And this way the cabochons are not covered with beads at all, and more of their beautiful shine stays visible. Moreover, what I really like in this case is that the edges of the cabochons stay sharp and neat, instead of the zigzag line created by peyote. So this reminds me of the sleek geometric shapes of Art Deco, and I find this way of working with cabochons very fitting for the Art Deco theme. And the metal settings for cabochons. Today I would like to tell you my tips and tricks of using these metal settings. And these metal settings for cabochons come in different shapes and sizes for the different cabochons. We have them in gold and silver color to make sure that you can match them to your beadwork. In your fuchsia Beadingschool Academy theme box, you actually get 2 different colors of the pear-shaped cabochons to make sure that you can make your decisions. Which one do you like more fitting for the jewel? And even the prongs, even these claw settings come in 2 different colors to make sure that you can choose the one that you like more. And the cabochon, these settings, they always have 4 holes on the sides that help you to attach the beads around the cabochons. And the smaller cabochons, like this ones, they come already set in the metal settings. That's the case of the slim navets that we used for the 𝐁𝐄𝐀𝐃𝐈𝐍𝐆 motif, and also for the jasmine earrings created by Susie that we have just published yesterday. I'm in the tutorial. You have seen the jewels earlier, but we published the tutorial yesterday. Susie is actually learning together with Veronka. They are learning how to draw illustrations in the professional graphic design program that I use for my tutorials. And this is the first one that Susie finished on her own. And I was super happy to see that you like the tutorial, and I would like to wish you lots of fun when using it. I think Susie did an amazing job. And both of these jewels, the 𝐁𝐿 and the jasmine, they were designed using beads and components from our India-inspired theme box. And I just would like to bring it to your attention that the deadline for the Jewel of the Maharaja mini challenge is very, very close, and we are still looking forward to your creations. You can submit your jewels. Every beader can submit 1 jewel until Friday using the form located in the virtual classroom. So please don't send it in an email, but navigate to the virtual classroom of Beadingschool Academy, beadingschoolacademy.com, and make sure that you are signed in. You can navigate to the India theme, the Jewel of the Maharaja, and then the last little square in between all the articles and tutorials is the entrance form for the Jewel of the Maharaja mini challenge. And next Tuesday, we will see who are the winners of the mini challenge. So Brit Marie just joined us also. So the bigger cabochons, like also the ones that I've used in this pendant, they usually come separately from the close, and you need to close the prongs yourselves. Today I would like to share with you some of my best practices when setting the cabochons into their metal settings to make sure that they look nice and neat. I even have a trick actually for changing the cabochons later in case you have an idea how to make your color combination even better. So I'm going to share now my hand camera. Just a moment. Hide this. So this is the pendant. Sorry, getting rid of my keyboard. This is the pendant that you can make. And let's see, what kind of tools do you need when working with the metal settings? And you might be surprised, it might seem that we are going to cook. As, first of all, we need a spoon. And for the second part, we need a knife. What's happening? Is it a cooking lesson? Not exactly, but we are indeed cooking up something nice. So these are the tools that you need for working with cabochons, with metal settings. I recommend using some dessert spoons and not a full-size spoon, or even like a dessert spoon or a coffee spoon to make sure that you can manipulate better with them. And I will demonstrate with a 14mm round-shaped cabochon, a Rivoli in fact, that how do I like to hold it, how do I close it, and then how do I open the prongs again. So the cabochon, it should sit on the rim of the metal setting. So when you put it in, then make sure to turn it all around and to check that it sits exactly on top of it. It should not sink into the setting at any place. It should sit exactly on top of the metal setting. And how do I like to hold it? I like to hold the cabochon. I'm right-handed, by the way, and I like to hold the cabochon between my index finger and between my thumb of my left hand, but I also kind of secure it from the back with the index finger of my right hand. So I have the spoon in between my thumb and between my other fingers, and I'm holding the cabochon from 3 sides. There are 4 prongs in the setting, as you can see, and 2 sets of holes, 4 altogether. And instead of having a hole on each side between the prongs, there are, if we drew lines in between 2 and 2 holes, then you can see that the 2 lines run parallel with each other. And this makes sure that actually you can easily push your needle through the holes. So I hold the cabochon and I like to close the prongs with the back of my teaspoon. When I close them first, then I don't close the prongs completely. I leave just about 0.5 millimeter of distance between the cabochon and the prong. So first, I just close the first one slightly, and then instead of continuing with the neighboring claw, I turn my cabochon, and the next one I close, again, not fully. I'm leaving a little distance, a little area for movement. I close the one that is exactly opposite of the first one that I closed. And then I move on to the second pair of prongs. Again, I'm not closing them fully at this stage. And Niti has a super nice question. Have you used any glue at this stage? No, you don't need to use glue for this kind of setting at all. There are metal settings available where you need to use glue, where there are no prongs attached to the setting, but for this type it is not necessary. And after I have this first initial closing of the prongs, I make sure that I have the cab in the correct position. And again, I push the prongs with the back of my spoon. And this time I try to be gentle to make sure that the cabochon doesn't move from the correct position. And this time I close the prongs fully. So this is how it looks like. You don't need to. Sometimes I move around actually several times and to like make sure that I can work with the prongs gentle, always just moving them a little bit. And you want to make sure that you don't close the prongs with strength. You don't want to damage the cabochon. And Susie says this is simple for coffee addicts. Just lick the spoon and you can fix your cabochon to the setting. It would be great if it would be that easy. So this is how I close the cabochon. And next, I would like to show you that how do I attach beads to the cabochon using the holes. In the meanwhile, if you have questions about this part, then please just type them in and I'm very happy to answer. Let me grab some Deco beads in an accenting color to make sure that you see it nicely, that what's happening on my bead mat. I think this would be actually a nice combination, purple with the mustard colored Deco beads. Tanya says, luckily I am a dessert addict, so I have some dessert spoons because I am not a coffee drinker. That's also a good solution. And if there are... Okay, Wendy likes the advice of starting with opposite prongs and then pushing them down a little at a time. I'm glad that it comes helpful, Wendy. And if there are no more questions about this part, then let's move on to attaching some beads. And this is where actually square stitch will become very handy again. When I am adding beads to this kind of metal setting, then I can say that until now I was always using Miyuki Delica size 11 seed beads. And I will be adding the Delica beads in between the holes of the cabochon. So, as I said, there are 4 holes, 2 sets of holes, 2 pairs of holes in the claw setting. And there are 2 holes which can be connected with a parallel line. So if you push your needle through these holes, then the needle will be parallel to the position of the needle in between these 2. So first, I never cross the cabochon in a cross shape when I'm attaching the beads. Actually, there is no technical obstacle to that, but I'm used to this kind of adding more beads. So first, I push my needle through the setting. I don't tie a knot, and I use a simple thread. And then, I actually don't know now the exact numbers. This is kind of a matter of experimenting a bit. So I pick up beads on my needle that cover the distance between these 2 holes. So let's see. I don't promise to bead now a technically 100% correct bezel, but I want to show you how it's done. So now, when I picked up more or less the amount of beads that I need for covering the distance between these 2 holes, then I bead one more time through the same set of holes, same pair of holes. And when I pull my thread, then you see that there is this bit less than semicircle of beads attached to the bottom of my cabochon. Now I want to move on to the second set of holes, and I pick up an amount of beads which will cover the distance between the 2 sets of holes. So I pick up, in this case I have 5, and then I bead through the second set of holes. So now there are beads around exactly half of my cabochon. Cynthia is asking if these are Delica beads. They are indeed. I don't see an obstacle for trying round seed beads, even smaller round seed beads, size 15, but my go-to beads for this kind of bezel are the size 11 Miyuki Delica. Now I will cover the distance between 2 holes in the second pair of holes. So I will pick up the same number of beads that in the first move. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now I cross through the second pair of holes. And only this small distance is left without beads now. For that small distance, I need 5 beads. I pick up the 5 beads and I push my needle through that first set of holes. So now, as you can see, there are beads all around my cabochon. At this stage, they are kind of sliding down. Don't worry, it will become a lot better. The second step in attaching beads to this kind of bezel is to bead all around the beads that you have just added, 1 or even 2 times to connect them to each other. And by making sure that they are well connected, this also helps you later to create smoother, straighter lines. So to create a nice bezel, I would actually need more beads, maybe 6 and 6 on the sides, because now it's sliding down too much and there are gaps between the beads, but please don't mind that. I will not redo this now, but make sure to adjust the number of the beads in your first circle to the size of your bezel when you are trying this. So now, this was the second stage, second step of bezeling in this way. And now the third step will be very familiar to you if you like the square stitch bezels that we used recently. So I'm exiting a bead in this first circle. I pick up a new Miyuki Delica bead and I bead through the bead that I am exiting and also the next one. So when I pull my thread, then the holes of these two beads are parallel and the new one is sitting exactly next to the one that I attached it to. And this is how I bead all around. I'm attaching beads one by one with square stitch. And sometimes I see tutorials where the advice is to attach beads in pairs, always 2 and 2, but I would recommend to take it slow, take it easy, and attach the beads one by one. It also helps you to create smoother lines, even if and I think it's more important to create it nice than to create it fast. So imagine that you have added beads all around the bezel with square stitch. I attached a few only, but you would need to bead all around and attach beads one by one. And then you turn to the opposite direction and you bead through all of the newly attached beads at least once, but I recommend even 2 or 3 times. And when you pull your thread, then since we used the same size, shape, and the same number of beads then in that first initial circle, then the new beads attached with square stitch, they will come up on the top of that first row and they will create exactly the same line as the first one and will sit nice and neat on top of them. So when you look at them from the top, then you will not see 2 rows of beads when beaded correctly. So this is how I attach that first line of beads when I'm using this kind of metal setting. Do you have any questions about this part or some tricks, tips that you would like to share with fellow beaders here? I'm super curious. And after this part, I will, in the meanwhile, I will put away my Delica beads and my half-bezeled cabochon using my nice Swedish spoon from Sarah. And then I would like to show you how you can actually change the color of your cabochons once the jewel is already made. because with this kind of bezel, you can actually open the prongs again and put a different color of cabochon in the settings. And for that part, you need the knife. And sorry, I just see some comments. Ginny says that she can't wait to try this kind of bezeling. Cindy likes the look. And Cynthia says, so you can do stitch in the ditch with the square stitch. Not exactly in the same way as with peyote, but yeah, you can attach a third row of Miyuki Delica beads in between the two, and then connect more and more beads to them. Niti is asking, yes, I saw your question. I think I answered that before. No glue. I don't use glue for this kind of setting at all. And Wendy says that the square stitch bezel looks so very Art Deco. I think it really fits the style. So, and now, since there are two colors of pear-shaped glass cabochons coming in your Fuchsia Beadingschool Academy team box, then let's see. Would you like to see how does it look like if we use the other color? So for this part, as I said, you need a knife, and you can use an ordinary kitchen knife. Just make sure that the knife has a thin edge, otherwise you could damage the cabochons. And I don't recommend actually doing this switch more than once, as the prongs might get overused and they might break later if you open and close them too many times. And when you are doing this, then you don't actually have to open all the prongs around the cabochon. Two are usually enough to make sure that you can slip out the old cabochon and then slip in the new one. So I'm trying to get my camera in focus again. Not so successful. I don't know what's happening, but what's important that my bead mat is in focus. So let me show you how do I open the prongs. So I slide in very, very carefully the edge of my knife behind the prong, and I gently open it, and then I open one more. So first just the tip, and then I open it more. And now I can remove the cabochon. I can slide in the new one, and then using the spoon, I can close the prongs. And Tanya says, I would be afraid to make scratches on the surface of the crystal. I was super afraid to do this for the first time. It was actually showed to me by a friend and colleague in the past, Shoshana Szilágyi. And I have to say that I did it many times, and I never managed to break a cabochon. I broke the prongs once, so that's why I'm saying that be careful with the prongs and don't open and close them more than once, or maybe twice, because I want to pop in the emerald cabochon again. But just remember, be very careful. Use a thin-edged knife, and it will be okay. And by the way, which color I'm curious, which color of the cabochons do you like more in the jewel? Do you think that the emerald one is nicer, or this is a paradise shine, or a paradise shine cabochon is nicer? And if you still have questions, if you have questions about the clothes settings, or if you have any tips or tricks to share with your fellow beaders, then I would be happy to read them. And also, I'm curious, do you like this way of working with cabochons? Ginny says, even using two colors would work. Actually, yes. And then I see Matt, Cynthia saying emerald. Hi, Edith. Connie also says green. Mariana also says green. Erika says that for her the paradise shine is nicer. Nicolene also likes the paradise shine. Joanne also, but I see lots of answers for the emerald. Donna says, I think emerald pops more, but paradise shine would look good with a darker blue Delica. Indeed. Lots and lots of emerald answers. Joyce says, I like them both, hard to choose. Tanya will make it with the paradise shine. Claire says, paradise shine brings out the gold beat around the central pearl. So true that the focus shifts to the nacre cabochon. That's a spot on comment. Nancy says the green and brown color combo so Art Deco. Yeah, elegant and vintage in once. Wendy says, I think I like the two colors. I wouldn't have thought I would. So I think I will switch it back to emerald. But this was super fun. Kata, by the way, says, none of these are my colors, but it depends on what are the other colors around. I could make them pop anyway. I hope I will see many, many nice color combinations of this pendant, maybe even with two different colors of cabochons used, made by you. But now, let's hide my hand camera and let's get back to my question from Sunday. So, what's happening at Beadingschool? This is the picture I showed you, and I asked you, there is a clue on this picture. Can you guess what is happening at Beadingschool? They showed you this picture with the beautiful tulips, and tulip season is actually just about to start here in the Netherlands, and I can't wait to visit the beautiful, colorful tulip fields. And tulips are blooming, actually, even in our kitchen at the moment. I have some Pionrosen, I don't know, unfortunately, the English name for them, in my beading room, and I have some beautiful pink tulips, a bit darker than these ones, in the kitchen. And however, in fact, the tulips on the picture were only a distraction, and the clue to what's happening at Beadingschool was the vintage suitcase in the background. And many of you found it out after those first initial guesses, and your answers concentrated around three different things. And the three guesses were traveling, moving, or something connected to the famous special boxes of Beadingschool. And today, I can tell you that all those answers were in fact correct. So, as I mentioned, Susie and Andrea will be traveling soon on behalf of Beadingschool. And they will visit Lenka, the creator of our beloved art cabochons that we love to use in bead embroidery, but also more and more in bead woven creations. And these cabochons, they are at the crossroads of art and science. Not only are they beautiful, but thanks to a special technology, they are also incredibly precise. And as we like to say, they are made by a beader for beaders, so making sure that they are made in a way that suits you the most, with just the right angles and beautiful colors and inspiring shapes. And readers who participated in our Advent calendar adventure have already seen the beautiful new line of cabochons that Lenka is developing. And this is with the thistle and the matte surface. It is one of those new creations. And I can promise that there are many new shapes and colors coming, and you might even see some of these if you decide to join the Beadingschool Academy lunch break this coming Saturday. So this is a sneak peek of what's coming. Ginny says she loves the thistle motif. Oh, and Tanya, thank you for the correction. I thought that they are a type of peonen. Cynthia says they are beautiful. So this is one of the answers that is correct. And another popular answer to my riddle was that Beadingschool is moving. And in fact, it's time for us to take a huge step. And the Beadingschool Treasury is moving into a comfy new space. And this way we can store more shiny goodies that are waiting for you. But also, since the packages from the factories and the distributors that arrive to the Treasury, they will arrive from now on to the same place, where also they will be carefully packaged for your precious shipments. Then it means that we can not only fulfill more of your beading dreams, but also with less waiting time and in a lot more streamlined and easy and fast way. So I have here some sneak peeks for you. The ladies in the Treasury are working hard. We're working also hard during the weekend when most of the work was done, but now they are getting comfortable and organized. And later today, I will actually show you a little video and some more pictures about the new Treasury. And as Susie says, there is so much light and so much space. Indeed, it is actually very close to the high school where I went for 4 years, together with Andrea and Timmy, who are also members of the Beadingschool team. And I even used to go to this very building because there was in the past a library on the first floor of this building. And now Beadingschool will occupy most of the topmost floor of this beautiful historical building. And we will have separate rooms for accepting the packages, then separate rooms for putting together the beautiful boxes, a separate room for putting together your orders, and a little comfy office where when someone needs to sit down to the computer and focus, then she can move away and enjoy some solitude. But yeah, lots of colorful new things are coming, and yeah, we are super happy and getting very comfy at this place. And thank you so much. Many of you are like congratulating, and this would have not been possible without your continuous support and being here in the community. So thank you so much. And I love seeing the Beadingschool community and team and the Treasury blooming. So I'm very grateful for this happening. And as Susie says, Susie noticed that there is even an AC now. So for the hot summer days, the ladies can work comfortably. If someone told you that at the end it will be a full building. Let's see. And this is not all, ladies. So another popular guess about the meaning of the suitcase in the picture that I showed you on Sunday was that the answer is something connected to the special boxes of Beadingschool. And after seeing your wishful comments, we actually decided to celebrate this big step in the life of Beadingschool with a never-before-seen deal. So starting now, there will be a special deal available to celebrate the new Treasury. A special deal for all the curated and all the dangerous fuchsia boxes. So these boxes, they already come fully packed and for a super nice price, but for a limited time and for a limited amount that we have available at the moment, you can grab them with an additional 10% off. And yeah, this is our gift to you to celebrate this event, and the whole Beadingschool team would like to wish you with this lots of inspiration and creative ideas for the upcoming time. And thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for being part of the community. And I can't wait to meet you again on Friday, for no one has to be alone. Have a nice rest of the afternoon, ladies. Bye-bye.